Me and Chris are here in Cassadaga, and we're gonna tour the town. Yes, I hope we might get readings. We're not sure if we're gonna get readings. We're not sure what we're doing. We're just gonna walk around a little bit. We're going into the Cassadaga Hotel right now. I don't know if they'll let me film, so I'll start back when they do.
It's so funny because I was just talking to Chris and I said, you know, she has a nice little support system with her friends, and you do. You're one of them. You guys are just like a, even when you act, and you do, sometimes you irritate the crap out of each other. Even when that happens, you get it, and you're able to let it go. You don't internalize it, you know, because everybody's different, and that is just the way it is. So, that being said, this would be a combination of psychic and mediumistic. In Chris's case, a woman came through just briefly. In Avery's case, the woman before, that was all mediumistic. So it's just going to come the way it's going to come. Sometimes people come here and they feel a loss. Sometimes people have a recent loss and they're really hoping that somebody will come through from that. And sometimes does, sometimes doesn't. So I'm just telling you, crapshoot here. And as I've been going all dang day, we're not real sure what's coming on, because it's not me, it's them.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mediumistic is when you're channeling somebody else, and you just have to get out of your way and into spirit. There's God gonna come through for you. So you get out of the way and just allow it. Sometimes whenever you start to get a little tired or something, you have to just rein yourself in. So if I stop and pause, it's because I'm starting to get in my way, and that's not good. There's a gentleman that's coming through. I believe he's on the other side. So this is a mediumistic thing. He's a rather taller guy. It's not easy for me sometimes, heights, because I've been told countless times by my seat, stay away from height, you're short, everybody looks taller than me. However, it's not even just that he is tall, it was also in the way he carried himself. He was comfortable with himself. He was a man who was comfortable in his own skin. When he looked in the mirror, he liked the guy that looked back at him. And being a gentleman of that generation, well, that's not always true. So, you know, he was older when he passed. He's saying that you will resonate. If I do my job, that you will know who this is. So we'll just let that happen, unfold as it does. He had darker hair, and as he aged, it grew grayer. You know, that's common. We all do. How many? You know, that's just way too crazy and certainly not evidential. However, what I do feel is evidential is that it wasn't even so much the height. He was a wiry guy. Are you familiar with that term, where he's muscular but didn't look bulk? He didn't have a heck of a lot of bulk, but he had the strength, and he could and did work with his hands when he was able. Let's go. Let's go. She hasn't been listening to me, because you see signs, you see things, you feel some people around you, but you're not always acknowledging them because you're in the throes of life. You're in the middle of 100 different things. Sometimes my sense is that you even you will hear clairaudient, and you sense things, and sometimes you ignore them. And then something happens that they had a little, that, you know, like the day I said I'm going to wear a ring, and I shouldn't have. And the ring ripped off, doesn't really matter. But what mattered was that I heard the voice in my head saying, yeah, I like that ring. Talk back, and you hear things sometimes, and then you ignore them, and then when there's a consequence of some kind, it's actually, you know, the term deja vu. Yes. You have that a lot, quite a bit. There, you have such an intuitive sense, and you have a calming, healing core about you. Though inwardly you're not always calm, you display calm outwardly, and it's okay to tee off. It is what I am getting. It certainly is okay, and it would serve you well to tell somebody to go to Hades, because you have a few people around you that do that, and you are calm. And it's not like you won't speak your mind, because you do. But there's a couple energies around you, and this is what your folks are saying. There's a couple energies around you that aren't hearing you. And they would foist their own life lessons off onto your capable little hands, rather than take responsibility for them in their own right. So as Mr. Man is trying to dump a life lesson on you and make you feel responsible for his inability to deal, that doesn't serve either one of you well. And when you're saying what you're saying, he's not always hearing. And I don't even know if you'll ever be able to hear. I don't know. I don't know. He still has, he has some growing up to do, this particular energy that is around you, and I think you know who that is, because it drags you down a little bit. It really drags you down. And whenever he comes and he's telling you a story from the day, and you're looking at that story completely different, but sometimes you're a little bit afraid to say, well, when you think about it, you weren't really doing right. You can't be late for work, you can't be slothful. And you're looking at him like, that he would get angry if you were to say it in a certain way. So you're couching terms. Is he a little bit on the scary side sometimes, this dude?
No.
Just not oblivious, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oblivious. Okay. Well, you will or you won't make the difference there. Some of the folks that are coming to you, they're not fully assembled. You have a lot of that, because you do have this calm demeanor about you, even though it's all frazzled sometimes inside. Yeah, you really are. You're struggling with the inside, and yet out on the outward side. The gentleman's saying, let it rip, Gia. You're not comfortable with explosive anger. And explosive anger doesn't normally serve too much too well. But to get louder and more pointed and more listen to, are you kidding me? And that's what he's saying. Are you kidding me? You're being a dumbass to your people that are around you. You're the one that is causing this, and it's making me crazy. You're making me crazy. I love y'all. You have a few of these people around you. Must be your calmness or something. I feel like they look to you to heal them or something, or that you'll have a sensible piece of advice that for once they'll listen to, but they never do they? They don't listen.
Do you see anything in love life? Anything?
Yeah, but you don't. Oh, you don't. You've had some things that set you back in that area, and now you have a little bit of a fear in there. That certainly does not serve you well, and you know that, and you're not real sure how to get over it, because it was a really crappy relationship. Yeah. I don't know that it was physical abuse, but there certainly was abuse, verbal, and probably borderline physical. And you have some scars. Would have pissed your grandmother off. It really made your grandmother upset. And you were in it, as many people are. You were in that relationship longer than you should have. So it was allowed to do further damage. None of that was you. just the person who saw something in this man that you thought you could fix him. And that when he said he was sorry, he really was. And he probably was for that hot minute when he was cognizant, but then it passed way too quick. And he never did keep his promises, and now you're afraid to trust. If you are able to meditate, do you ever?
Yeah,
You
actually,
do?
I only just started. I
Okay.
mean, I've tried before, but I give it up easily. But I just started again.
You're giving it up easily because it's painful, because what you're going to have to dredge up, little G is in there and she's all huddled down and she's living underneath a garbage can, and you're gonna have to pick that garbage can up off her because it did do truly traumatic damage, but not long lasting.
Okay.
You're just gonna have to embrace the pain. And it may happen one fine morning. Sometimes I'll try and meditate more when you wake up with your dreams, take a little walk,
Yeah.
sit and tickle. It might even happen, all of a sudden you'll find yourself crying.
Yeah.
And it really is a good cry, a release of that, an acknowledgement that that was not you. You did nothing to deserve it. You enabled sometimes, but you did not deserve it. And it gives no human being the right to be that cruel and critical and damaging. And you felt so threatened, and you're not feeling threatened anymore from him, but you're afraid he's gonna pop back into your life. Yeah, you are feeling threatened.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just checked my email before when I was waiting for her, and he ended it. He pops up every once in a while. And
Just-
yeah. So
Because he can. You are not available.
yeah.
You are not available for that anymore. I am not available. Positive affirmations. Sometimes in meditation, you're getting good and you're getting better. The reason that you block and you stop is because you're afraid of that pain. You're afraid to look at that pain. You're afraid to look at what happened to Gia because you're afraid she can't be retrieved. Well, she is being retrieved. You're retrieving her just by sitting here.
Yeah.
You're retrieving her. She needs dusted off. She needs shored up. She needs to know she's a gorgeous woman. She needs to know she's an Italian gorgeous woman who can say F off if she has to.
Yeah.
You don't want to be confrontational because what that just costs you more.
Yeah, it does.
Distance. No, nothing has. The only thing that has changed is you, Gina. He has not.
Yeah.
So embrace, cry, do whatever, and yes, until you heal from that, you may not. There's people around you who can move on with it. People, actually, my sense is that there is somebody who is around you that kind of piques your interest a little bit, but you're still afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. A whole different, but you can get a whole new Kleenex. A whole different type of person, not the same person, a different path. And this guy is going to be the wild man. He's going to be somebody that, and you're just going to, and he's actually going to see you. He's actually going to care about it. He's going to get a kick out of when you pop off.
Okay.
He's not going to get mad and backhand you. So embrace that.
Okay.
And destructive dude, to the curb.
No. Yes, definitely.
Are you okay? Do you feel safe?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so you're safe.